This segment of the Alice Stewart Show is brought to you by Aero Plumbing. For all your household or business plumbing needs, call Aero Plumbing at 1-866-PLUMBER or schedule an appointment online at aeroplumbing.net.
And we are back on the Alice Stewart Show, 7:35, 25 minutes before 8 o'clock on a beautiful Tuesday morning. And the legislative session will get underway soon in January, and our members of our House and Senate here in Arkansas have been busy laying the groundwork. There was an orientation last week. They've been working on setting the agenda and outlining what the big issues to address are. And here to talk about his plans for the upcoming session, joined with State Senator Eddie Joe Williams. He is representing the 29th District, parts of Faulkner, Lone Oak, Pulaski, and White counties. Senator Williams, good morning.
Good morning, Alice. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you, and thanks so much for joining us. I know there's a lot going on in preps for the session. Your thoughts on the session itself? Probably one of the biggest issues to attack first off would be the budget.
Well, there's no question about that. With Governor Hutchinson has made a proposal, which I think he has the support to get done, where he's reducing the brackets for income tax. So that's going to create a shortage. Obviously, the tax cuts due to the affordable health care, commonly called private option in Arkansas. There's some that's set to kick in next year. So it'll be a challenge. I think what you'll see with that, though, you'll see less about it in the paper. I think there will be a lot of negotiations going on. I think the governor will have obviously a big impact. He's already speaking. I think he spoke to the Farm Bureau last week, and maybe the Chamber. So he's doing his due diligence. When we get in session, though, I think a lot of that will take place behind closed doors in committee rooms in the governor's office, and I think we'll see something from that. So, and here's the positive side of that. For the last several years, we've had as high as $300 to $500 million surplus in our revenue. So if we have the projected growth, I think we'll have a surplus again in the state of Arkansas that we can work from.
Well, that would certainly get things off on the right foot for sure. And also another one that we're hearing a lot of is prisons, and whether to build a new prison, whether to work on rehabilitation. And you laugh, but it's going to be a big issue this session.
It will be a huge issue. It is a huge issue now. We have somewhere around 2,500 prisoners backed up in the county jails with no real plan in place to get them out.
Right.
So, I have spent my committee, which is I chair state agencies. We will hear a lot of those issues, especially with facilities. And I've spent time in Louisiana and Connecticut, all over the state of Arkansas, Texas, trying to see a model, one that's worked. And surprisingly, there are some things out there that we can do to help ourselves. First and foremost, we got to put the bad people in jail.
Right.
I don't think anyone would question that if you've committed a heinous crime, a violent crime, you need to go to jail and you need to go for a long time. And the problem is we have no room. So, and the alternative from the corrections department, which I do not agree with, is to immediately build a new $100 million facility. There's an operating budget of some projected up to $40 million a year. So I think there's alternatives. I think we'll take a hard look at that. There are several different committees. The Judicial Committee, which I also sit on, taking a hard look at it. State agencies is looking at it. And I think we'll come up with a solution. And as other states have, I'll give you an example. State of Texas, I think 2007 was projected to be about 10,000 beds short within 10 years. And last year they shut down 3 prisons. So we can look at what they have done, and there's no reason Arkansas can't model the same way. We'll have a new director over the Department of Corrections, and with that, I think we'll have some new and fresh ideas. Sheila Sharp is looking. She's a director of community corrections, old parole officers. She's looking at a fresh approach to it. So I think we'll solve the problem without building a new jail. Now, if at some point we need a new jail,
right?
I'll be the first to recognize that. But coming from the private sector, running a railroad for 40 years, we just didn't build a new rail or new track It just wasn't possible. So you figured out how to take what you've got and make it work. And I think the state of Arkansas is asking, their elected officials to do the same thing.
Well, and there's a lot of talk about looking at more rehabilitation programs and working on rehabilitating some of these prisoners to help reduce the recidivism rate, which will be helpful also. I want to ask you, got another issue before we let you go, is the private option. It's you supported that. It is a lot of controversy. There are some of your colleagues there were elected saying that they were going to really do something about private option, try to do away with it. But what do you see as the future of private option in Arkansas?
Well, there will probably be something that comes out of this session. If I could tell you what it was, I wouldn't be serving as a legislator.
We'd be in Vegas.
I'd be telling fortunes somewhere. But I think we'll see something out of it. Governor Hutchinson is on the record saying that we need to take a hard look at it and figure out what it's going to look like 5 or 10 years down the road if it's still here. I'm on the record saying that if it's in its current state, that we'll not vote for it again. And the reason for that, when we first started, of course, primarily the private option is for the working poor, people who make up to 138% of the poverty rate level. And, mom of two with a job making $22,000 or $3,000 a year. That's the subsidy that helps her. What I was asking, and I'm still asking for, is that at least a health savings account be open and everyone have some skin in the game. And I was told that was going to happen. Well, now what we're finding out is it's not even called a health savings account. Now it's a health incentive, HIA, a health incentive program. And the state's going to put money in that.
Right.
That makes no sense at all. I think everyone needs some skin in the game. If based on their income, if they can make a payment each month into the health savings account, then they can make decisions on where that money goes. I think the system could work. But I was led to believe that we would do that, and now we're not. So based on the current program as it is, I can't support it again. And hopefully we'll get some positive changes for it. I've seen this more in the paper where I think Tennessee is passing a version of Arkansas. A Republican governor up there is passing a version of Arkansas's private options. So lottery will be an issue. You can rest assured of that. Senator Hickey down in Texas County has done a great job of working through those issues. Tort reform, as it was 2 years ago, I led that effort. I think you'll see that again. And I'm hoping for a short session. The governor, probably his legislative agenda won't be quite as long as it normally would be if he's been there 2 or 4 years. So hopefully we'll have a short, quick session, get in and get out. And the residents of Arkansas can sleep good at night knowing we're not in session.
And you can sleep good at night. And and one last thing, your thoughts on having a Republican governor, having more Republicans in the House and Senate, but with Governor Beebe out, who did a fantastic job at having Governor-elect Hutchinson in the governor's office. How will that change the dynamics for the session?
Here, the dynamics will be that we have we may fight battles behind doors, and we may have a difference of opinion, but we do at some point need to unite and be one front, both houses and the governor, in supporting each other on the big issues and getting it done. For years we were in the minority, and the easiest thing in the world is to be in the minority and just oppose everything that the majority party's trying to do. So we have reversed those roles. We are in leadership position. The people of Arkansas are looking at us to lead this state. One thing we fall into is some people would like for us to manage Washington from Little Rock, and that's not possible. We've obviously we have very little to do with Washington politics, so we're going to manage the day-to-day operation in Arkansas, and I think we'll do a great job. I know we've got a good team built. Arkansas spoke loud and clear. They're looking for a new direction, and I think they're going to get it.
They sure will, and with you, they sure will as well. State Senator Eddie Joe Williams. Senator, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, take care. Have a great day. And Senator Williams, representing the 29th District there in Faulkner, Lonoke, and Pulaski County. We will take a break, and when we come back, Bethany Blinkley will join us from Christian Post on faith and society. Coming up on the Alice Stewart Show. This segment of the Alice Stewart Show brought to you by Arrow Plumbing. For all of your household or business plumbing needs, call Arrow Plumbing at 1-866-PLUMBER, or you can schedule an appointment online at arrowplumbing.net.